Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And welcome everybody to Scarefest Television, the original broadcast date May 13th, 2022. Tonight we have Mark Ewell and Matthew Henry representing Frankencon. Coming to you live from the Hilton Knoxville Airport. Okay, intros are out of the way. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Wes.
Yes.
And good luck. Honestly, the thought of doing one of these the first time would, honestly, it would make me balder than you are, Mark. That's just all I can say. I would lose my shit if I had to do that.
I had a lot of hits.
Well, right out of the gate, everybody, what we're talking about tonight, and if you're not familiar with it, Frankencon is a first-year horror convention and film festival down in Knoxville, Tennessee, happening tomorrow, of all times. So, the fact that they were even willing and not totally stressed out to do the show tonight is a great testament to your intestinal fortitude.
Well, we're not the smartest. We just make rash decisions, just do whatever we want. No, we wanted to hop on because Scarefest has been awesome to us. You guys are actually here.
Yes.
We got Adrian her earlier. So you guys are representing here, and that's great. And just the support you guys have shown us has been awesome. And yeah, today's been pretty hectic, but it's been good. So we're ready for tomorrow. We've got Joe Bob Briggs. We've got Darcy the Mail Girl. We got a ton of guests coming up. For a small first-year con, you got a damn good guest list. We're going to go through. I'm going to go through it with the fine-tooth comb here in a minute. I'm really impressed with what you all have put together for your first effort. But now, first-year con, did you follow my advice that I give everybody when they ask me about these things? Did you budget it based on the ass whipping you're willing to take?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the weird thing is that kind of evolved. It's one of those things where we had a concept in the beginning where we were like, well, we'll just bring in like 3 people. And then within one day, we had all 3 booked. So then it just started to snowball a little bit. And then it just kept on getting like a little bigger, a little bigger. And it just kept on, until now it's this thing that we wouldn't have been able to do without the horror community kind of getting behind us and helping us out. So
and that's an interesting thing. Now, this is something, all of us pretty much in the actual show promotion business, we kind of know this. Now, there's a few conventions that don't get along with each other. For the most part,
really?
Yeah, really, it happens. But for the most part, conventions are normally very supportive of each other, and the reasoning of the smart ones anyway are that we consider everything, it's like a garden, and to be philosophical here, we get a lot of people from Tennessee, and we want to see you all cultivate the shit out of that garden, because if you make the horror fans, get them excited about going to things, there's a lot of horror fans out there that don't know the first thing about conventions. Me, until Scarefest, I had never really been I've been to I hadn't even been to a Paracon. It was my first all-around convention experience. Of course, blew me away, and here I am.
So I'm not. These guys. So Richard's been to some, and Corey's even been to some, but I had never done conventions ever. I booked wrestling events for 14 years. So that was my background. I had never did conventions, but I was a lifelong horror fan. So we all bring a little bit of something different to the table.
Hey, I used to announce horror shows. That's how I cultivated my stage presence, if you will. That being a real show off in high school. Anyway, okay. Now the typical question right off the bat. I will go to commercial break after we get through this, but. What inspired the two of you and whoever else is involved to have a convention? Because this is not something you just do on a whim.
Oh, that's where you're wrong.
Not the first time.
Corey is the third head of this dragon, and no, we're all podcasters, so it kind of stems from there. We do horror podcasts, and Matt does, like he said, he did wrestling events. So he got Felissa Rose's information last year and wanted to do an evening with Felissa Rose. So we booked this little bar, and we sold it out at 100 people, and it was a great event. So leading up to that, it was going so well, we wanted to do another event like that, but it's very hard to do those events, like just a 3-hour thing, So that's really where I came in and said we just need to do a whole day of vendors and all that stuff. So, but I mean, yeah, it kind of evolved from all that, and just got it like Matt said earlier, we had this, and then it's kind of gone out.
I think I'm just addicted to event planning, and I'm addicted to the stress of it. I enjoy so there's a yin and a yang. I enjoy the hectic nature of it, actually, and Richard here has actually has coordinated a whole lot of stuff. He's really knocked it out of the park, and we're all just trying to do our best to navigate this.
Now, okay, just to clarify, though, I want to see how much we have in common. Do you enjoy the hectic nature of it, or do you thrive on the hectic nature of it? There's a difference, and don't confuse the two.
I would say I thrive. Okay. That's where I work best.
Yeah. Because working for Scarefest, of course, I got eased into it, but I can tell you, now I thrive on it. That last month, I mean, I'm a basket case, but I enjoy, or I thrive on the problem solving and everything. But at the end of the day, I could use a couple more hours sleep. I'm not getting any younger. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, everybody. We will be right back after this commercial message.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. During the commercial break, we totally lost half the interview. But that's okay. I got a good question for you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Now, you said you were in the horror business, the wrestling business.
Yes, I was.
Now, going back to your guest list, I notice a lack of wrestlers. Now, this only strikes me as odd because now I haven't paid attention. Randy Macho Man Savage was the last wrestler I gave a rat's ass about, I'll be honest with you. Now, that being said, we get tons of requests every year to bring in wrestlers. And so I was just wondering, did you purposely stay away from that genre and try to keep the purity of it? What's going on there?
So this year, yes. However, we did, for future events, we have reached out to certain talents. But what I want to try and do is keep it within the theme of horror. So think about, there's a really popular wrestler right now. His name is Dan Housen. So he's very popular. He kind of does a horror host type of gimmick with the face paint. And he's very comical, but he has this huge online presence. And then people like Gangrel, maybe a Mick Foley because of the Mankind gimmick. But trying to keep it within the horror and cult realm is what I want to try and do. I don't want to just bring in any wrestler just to bring in a wrestler. I want it to make sense and fit with the event.
Good luck with that. See, and I say that from a standpoint of ignorance. People throw around names all year round in our Facebook group. You need to bring this person, and I have to Google their ass. And occasionally, pictures say, "Oh yeah, that guy, he would fit in." And then the occasional one is like a motivational speaker. Nothing wrong with that, but it is really hard to keep focus. I know in our case, you wouldn't think it would be a big crossover, but unless there is a really solid connection with the actor, we've not even had great luck bringing in sci-fi. And you would think that would be the same fan base practically. But
Yeah, it's the fan base is ever expanding, but yet simultaneously narrow, because it's weird. It's kind of like if you look, there's some conventions that are horror adjacent, but then they may bring in someone from like Police Academy or something. And there's like certain comedies and certain sci-fi movies that can fit within the film, but some that just don't, and it doesn't work. I don't know where that sweet spot is, because I think it's kind of always changing. It's always kind of
I would agree with you. It's always changing, but the other thing is, I think at this point in time, my observations are, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a one-way door. It swings both ways, but it doesn't swing open all the other direction. Comic-Cons have no trouble bringing in a horror guest, and they'll have a good turnout, but we bring in a freaking Comic-Con guest, and, and people are just, who the hell's that? And, go on. So I agree with you. But I do enjoy the purity of concept. Now, this is one of my stupid ass questions that you won't get from any other podcaster, I guarantee you. How many?
Richard was a clown, by the way. He's back.
Okay,
He's back.
Come on in. And he might know that. How many goddamn convention centers are there in Knoxville, Tennessee?
Well, we
There's
call
even
them
more
different.
rec centers.
We call them different. We got convention centers, we got expo centers, But we're in an old school hotel. This is a hotel convention, so we got a lot of people staying here. I heard something about a pool party later. I don't know.
Yeah,
I did. Okay. Now I actually meant to come to Frankencon, but my schedule was just too hectic, and we're represented, so I don't have to work all the damn time. But I have been to at least. You all would have been at least the third horror convention, maybe fourth, in the area. Never been to the same convention center twice. Never.
Well, I like this one because the bar is just down the hall along with the restaurant. John Dugan's he's tumbled down the steps, right? Brian Brimmer's already did a cannonball into the pool, okay? Joe Bob's covering his eyes walking by, trying not to see. So it's been cool because we're kind of being surrounded by everything. Nigel Bach is over here getting dragged around by an invisible spirit. So it's just, we're just keeping it all in one place.
Let's go ahead and let's talk to try to drive some business your old way. Let's talk. And everybody, once again, we're talking to Frankencon. They're in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's tomorrow. Opens at 10. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
General admission 10 o'clock.
General admission 10 o'clock. Okay. Going down the guest list right off the bat. Joe Bob Briggs, Darcy the Mail Girl, who normally is not a real easy get, just because his schedule's so hectic. Kudos to that. But we had him one year, and we still get requests every year to bring him back, and we didn't have Darcy, so you're one up on us there.
We got lucky. I'm gonna be honest with you. Once we got those two, that's when we were kind of able to build the convention around.
They were the first gets.
Yeah.
And their assistant has been great to deal with. They've been just a pleasure. So, and Joe Bob, obviously does a lot of shows, but Darcy doesn't do as many. I've noticed, and so it's really cool that she's here, and because she's doing a lot of other stuff. With Full Moon outside of just the drive-in. So she's some really cool stuff.
Everyone, now they've got Mark Patton on Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street. So Mark Patton's there. Kim Myers, who, now this is where I'm a pop culture guy. I love movies. I'm a horror movie fan, but not just, I'm not streamlined on it. Kim Myers has been in damn near everything. And has worked consistently for 30 years or 20 some years now?
Yes. And, for her, I think she's done like one convention this year, but I think this is the first time since before the pandemic that her, Mark, and Jack, the director, are all in one place together. So that's cool.
So everybody, that's Kim Myers, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Hellraiser, Bloodline, and if you IMDb her, she's been in all kinds of stuff. I would just go into Walker, Texas Ranger, for God's sakes. Busy lady there, of course. John Dugan, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, Texas Chainsaw 3D. John Dugan's there. They've got Jack Shoulder, the director of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Alone in the Dark, The Hidden, and Wishmaster 2. Brian Bremer, Pumpkinhead, Society, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
So if you look at his credits, okay, Brian Bremer has, over the past few years, he's been working with Tyler Perry. So he's been in some Tyler Perry movies. So he was in Spontaneous Combustion. So we're talking about a guy who's worked with Wes Craven, Tobe Hooper, Brian Usna, and Tyler Perry. He's literally worked with some of the most diverse directors in the genre. So it's wicked. It's crazy.
Now this one I'm not familiar with. I'll let you tell me about it. Nigel Bach of the Bad Ben franchise.
So he was actually the third. Really, we got Joe Bob, Darcy, and Nigel pretty much all on the same day, thanks to our other partner, Corey. He was the mastermind behind them three, but Nigel is awesome. So I think it was back in probably about 6 years ago. He was in line to do a movie with some actors. He was going to direct it. And the way the story goes is that they basically all backed out, but he had all this stuff, and he wanted to do this movie, so he did it himself. So it's called Bad Ben. It's on Tubi, so Tubi's a great free streaming service.
I watch it all the time.
movies. There are 9 movies of Bad Men. This is a franchise.
It is wild.
So he's the star, director, writer. He's a great guy, and this is his first convention. He's never done a convention before. He's not even charging for autographs. He's brought 100 posters to give away, to sign and give away. He's just a really cool guy, and I think it's really special just because we're horror's not always the Scream reunions and all that.
Well, so obvious, everybody, they will let anyone in the building.
Yeah.
My Scarefest shirt on.
Brand new one.
Scarefest TV. I recognize that background. Hi,
That's
everybody.
really
Sorry to
You're good.
Okay, well, that's a good place for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about more of their guests, and then we'll get into some of these special events that they'll be having throughout the day. We'll be right back with, and when we come back, I do have a couple of entertainment announcements to drop for the Scarefest. Be right back.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
Welcome back to Scarefest TV. Our first announcement of the evening for Scarefest 2022. Circus Envy is coming back to Scarefest. Between the pandemic and some family things, Circus Envy has not been with us. We missed him greatly, but Circus Envy is coming back for 2022 in all of his glory. Another return from way back when. Reed Masterson, magician extraordinaire. He'll be doing his show on the floor. We've actually got a special little spot on the floor. You'll be able to see his magic show throughout the day. Reed Masterson is coming to Scarefest. And don't forget, we are still taking applications for volunteers. Go to thescarefest.com, click the volunteer link, and if you want to be a part of Scarefest, we're good to go. The Scarefest Horror Film Festival is still taking submissions. I did finally load a browser on my new TV so I could actually start judging from my recliner. But yeah, the Horror Film Festival is taking submissions. Go ahead, if you know an independent filmmaker, tell them they should be entering the Scarefest Horror Film Festival. And the Central Kentucky Mystical Market is this weekend. I, of course, can't be there either because I got shit to do. But Central Kentucky Mystic Market at the Clarion Hotel, Newtown Pike, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, opens tomorrow at 10. Thank you. That's what assistants are for. And then like noon on Sunday, because I love anything that does a 2-day weekend. I love it when they do hangover hours. I really think Scarefest should incorporate that into their schedule, but we don't. Anyway, so that's my announcements. Now back to the guest list. To continue going down the guest list, Mick Strawn, who if you didn't book him, he'd have just showed up anyway.
That is true. That is true.
Mick Strawn, everybody.
No, he had me laughing as he was coming down the hallway. I could just hear. He's one of those people who just has like an aura, a very fun aura about him. So when he's around and you're talking to him, it's hard not to smile. So there's a lot of people that messaged us, and we're really happy that we brought him in because they like hanging out with him.
Now, why the hell did Brandon send me a freaking video message in the middle of my damn show? He knows I can't do anything about it. Anyway, now okay. Also, but then Adrian, I think it was, sent me a question. I'm going to actually hop over my text on my phone because that's how we do on Scarefest TV. We're so damn professional. I'll edit this in post.
Oh, we're not live?
Actually, Brandon, ask them how their blood pressure is holding up. He wants to know how are you actually holding up under the pressure?
Well, this week I formed a little Belial that's attached to my body, and I think it has something to do.
This is a true story. This is a true story.
I think it has something to do with this event, but he's ready to meet everybody. No,
I mean, it is stressful. It is, and especially Matt and Corey. I mean, they're my best friends, and that's kind of why we did this. But not only is this like Frankencon, but we just started a business to do this.
And now I got to go to the dermatologist.
But yeah, it's just really cool. I get the most stressed out of everybody. But that's me. But today's been good. I think I had a minor breakdown earlier, but I was by myself mostly, so it's fine.
Now, who on your team, volunteer or otherwise, is your think of everything that can go wrong beforehand guy? That's my job in at Scarefest. Everybody else is excited about shit, and I'm saying, well, if you do that, then this is gonna freaking happen. And you completely forgot about this.
Corey is like the logistics guy. He's like, hey, did we make sure to get this paperwork signed? Did we make sure that we got this permit? Did we make sure this came in? So he's kind of the one that keeps us on the straight and narrow on some of that stuff. Whereas I come from the wrestling world, I'm just like, I don't give a damn. Just wing it. Just wing it. Maybe we have this. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
This is the guy that was literally folding shirts earlier, the day before the convention.
We've done that, so yeah, I get that.
Well,
off the press.
The T-shirt guy was working by himself, so when I went into the shop, I said, "Here's the payment." And I worked at this particular T-shirt shop, and I said, "Do you need help?" So as he was putting them through the oven, I was pulling them out and folding them.
Okay, everybody. Okay, now we're still going down the guest list. Now, tell me about the live music. Casket Creatures.
They are the loudest, drunkest band from Atlanta, Georgia. They're coming in, and they will be here all day, but for our VIP, which sold out 5 months ago, they're going to put on a live performance at 6 o'clock to kick that off. So, the Casket Creatures are a great horror punk band, and you can find their stuff on Spotify, and they have a lot. I mean, they have stuff I feel like they were doing stuff, what's the name of the band? Einstein Kills made stuff popular with doing the movie horror singing. But Casket Creatures, I heard it a few years before that. Not a new thing, but they're just a really fun, high energy band.
It's like a pop punk band. I would compare them mostly to the Misfits type band.
You had me right until you said the loudest, and I'm too old for that shit. I've actually enjoyed most of the music we've had, except one year somebody had the bright idea. We booked 5 bands for the Saturday night party, which was not the VIP, which is the costume party and our little get together. And we had went to eat. They started playing right after the con. We went to eat, and when I came back in, I swear to God, all 5 bands were playing there at the same time, I think. I don't know who was playing, and I wouldn't name them if I knew, but oh my God, it was dreadful. I'm just way too old for this shit. But if we walked in and was like, what the hell is going on?
I'm a music festival junkie. I go to at least 2 or 3 a year. So I'm already like, hey guys, after we do this, let's book a music festival. What'd you say, Richard? What'd you say, Richard?
I am not an outdoors guy. I need air conditioning, lots of air.
Okay, now some more guests you have here. Rich Davis, the writer creator of Cult of Dracula and Netflix's Swap Shop. You've got
and Cult of Dracula. I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard, it's made rounds that could have been optioned by a really big studio or a really big TV company to be turned into a show, possibly.
He's already Tony Todd's studio and people are really high on it, and that comic just made. I mean, it just came out of nowhere, and now he's got Rise of Dracula, and he's going to be here. He's a great guy, and the story's fantastic. It's just a cool spin on Dracula.
Now, one thing. Okay, now I'm going to jump off the guest list because another thing we haven't touched on very much is it's in your title and film festival, and I have to say, now I gotta add a question to this, but it's the Franken Film Fest, short film festival inspired by Frankenstein. Now, explain to me the concept behind. Tell people what to expect with your film festival.
So it started out like that, and then I loosened the rules a little bit. However, a lot of the entries that I got have been inspired by Frankenstein. So the rules were kind of like there has to be someone named Victor. There has to be the line "It's alive." And it just has to be inspired. So we've gotten a lot of interesting, very interesting. There's titles like
Erecting
a monster with a tagline, "It's a big thing." So it's like, so there is some very interesting spins on the Frankenstein lore.
Yeah, so. It is funny because 2 of them are very similar, and it's just funny that people.
2 of them are very phallic.
Never heard that used as that type of adjective before, but thank you very much. Okay, so now the follow up to that is actually I had it in my notes here, and I don't know why I jumped over it. What led you to name the con Frankencon? I mean, now I like it. I'll tell you, I like it. It's memorable. It's unique in its memorable name. So
this guy came up with the whole concept, the whole idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had we went through a few names. Like, I mean, we had a bunch of different names, and I mean, it's so hard to name stuff because it feels like everything's been taken. You know, I mean, so just when we were coming up with stuff, I just thought of Frankencon, and it just sounded good. It was short. It felt easy to remember. And I just instantly, I had this envision of the bolts on each side of the, one on the F and one on the N. And it just felt like it was an easy logo that we could come up with. And
Frankenstein is it's kind of public domain in a way where you can kind of play with the concept of Frankenstein. Right. But so what I love about it, the most of what I love about it is I'm a big guy about gimmicks. I love concepts and gimmicks. Like every single one of my wrestling shows had to have a gimmick. It was Grunge Night or it was whatever it may be. So like if we expand upon this, it's going to be the son of Frankencon, the bride of Frankencon, the house of Frankencon.
I mean, if we go for another year, I mean, it will be
Frankencon reborn.
Yeah, I Frankencon.
We've been beating that horse for years. It's
I'm glad there's plenty to work with.
I mean, coming up with stuff is just really tough, and it just seemed like it fit, and these guys agreed to it. So that's kind of where we fell.
I was a teenage Frankencon.
Well, I mean, I gotta admit, as far as names you could come up with that come with their built-in mascot, I don't think you could have done much better. I mean,
and it's weird. The mascot. So this guy here, the way we kind of came up with the original concept was originally we had booked Tom Matthews and Felissa Rose, and there that kind of fell through, which is fine. We're going to have Tom Matthews back in July for Terror in the Woods, teaming up with Central Cinema. But I wanted to kind of do a spin on the punks from Return of the Living Dead. So I was like, let's turn Frankenstein into one of the punks.
Yeah. There you go. No, it makes sense to me. Kind of hung up on Felissa. We're hung up on Felissa Rose too. Hey, and I'm getting ready to email her and ask her to be on the show again. I love the woman, but just
yeah,
we love Felissa. Like she really is the nicest person. And I mean, you know, we had early on, I guess it was back in October. We had 3 guests drop in one day. I mean, I say drop, but like stuff happens, you know, but we lost 3 guests in one day, and that was a pivotal moment in our con lives, because they were like the big ones, you know, like they were the ones that we were focused on. And then we got with Peter Valderrama, who really helped us out in putting together the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 reunion and bringing in Brian Brimmer. And so it's just, everything happens for a reason, but we love Felissa.
Okay, everybody.
It's like a
go ahead.
No, I was just saying Felissa is so great because she has, I mean, there's a built-in audience, but because of the great relationship she's formed with the fans from doing all the conventions, and she's so sweet and takes her time with them, it's almost like she's now just famous for being Felissa. Has nothing to do with movies or anything. It's just,
it's true.
Well, in all honesty, of course, you know, everybody, the Sleepaway Camp, you know, that's her big IMDb thing. But because I've interviewed her so many times, you know, I go in every year and I watch her current stuff. Her best movies are still hitting the theaters now. She has grown. She's developed and as she's getting older, she's getting better parts. And I'll stand by that. So.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we're going to do our final commercial break. We're going to come back. We'll have Bonehead Weekly, and then we'll give the gentlemen just a couple minutes in their own words to tell you why you should check out Frankencon tomorrow at Knoxville Hilton Airport Convention Center. Hilton Knoxville Airport. Okay, we'll be right back.
Horror. Movie. Fans. 4. Life. On Facebook. Find us. 4 watch parties. 4 news. 4 memes. 4 friends. 4 life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. This week I wanted to try to get something new, but I've been off trying to put something I wanted to talk about old on here, so we're going to talk about that. What we're going to talk about is the work of Ari Aster. Now, if you don't know who Ari Aster is, he's probably, him and Robert Eggers are the two, and we'll get to Robert Eggers next week, are the two people who I think have done the most creatively with horror in the last 5-10 years. The first movie is Hereditary. It came out in 2018. Not only is it beautifully shot, not only is it beautifully acted, I just loved it. It stars Toni Collette and Gabriel Byrne, and it's about a family coming apart. And then as you learn more and more as they go through the grieving process of losing her mom and then other people, you start to just pick away at, oh, everything's not right. And then it turns into a full-blown, well, the less I say, the better it is. Like many of these movies, the less I say, the better it is. So every time I think, oh, I figured it out, you didn't. I saw it in the theater because when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is something I have to see. Snuck out of work one day and did it. And he did not disappoint. There's a death scene in the middle of the movie that's perfect. It doesn't end well for a lot of people. If you've not seen it, it's on Hulu. And then I thought, man, he's really talented. 2018, what's he going to do next? And he followed it up in 2019 with something that Midsommar. And Midsommar summed up is this: it's about a breakup that goes badly. It's about someone who should just end it and doesn't, and a bad breakup. I mean, it's about a couple that travel to Northern Europe to visit some of their a rural hometown of one of their friends, and everything goes to hell from there. And once again, the less I tell you, the better. But it really is just about a breakup. It's a 2.5-hour horror film about a breakup, and I love it. You can't say enough great things about it. Now, these movies aren't going to be for everyone. I understand that I've seen a lot, and I like things that are different. So this may not be for you because they are different. And there's more going on than just here. Like there's a scene in Hereditary in the last 10 minutes that if you don't, that you either are in or you're out. Midsommar, probably about halfway through, you're either in or you're out. And if you're in, it's fantastic. I mean, it deals with a pagan cult in the middle of the day. It's probably closest to The Wicker Man, which is another brilliant film with Christopher Lee from the 70s. Never seen it, check that out. But I really think that it's time for me to give some love to Midsommar, Hereditary, and Ari Aster. Sorry, he directed them both. He's got a new movie coming out hopefully in the next year. COVID's been rough. You can see both of these on Hulu. I love them. They're fantastic, and they're just so different. Even Midsommar, that's so much like The Wicker Man, but isn't. Once again, remember, Midsommar is about a bad breakup, and Hereditary is about a dysfunctional family that should communicate more. Yeah, that's basically what they are. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Hereditary, Midsommar, Hulu. If you've never seen them, a lot of you probably already seen them, but if you've never seen them, watch them. And then if you hate them, that's fine. Contact me, message me. And if you loved them, message me too. I'm curious to see. I'd like to hear from you all. Hereditary, Midsommar.
Gentlemen, now's your chance to shine. Invite everybody that's watching tonight to the con and tell them why the hell they should make a little trip to Knoxville and enjoy the day with you.
So this is what's going to happen at 10 o'clock for general admission. You're going to be able to come in. You're going to be able to meet all these superstars. We got over 50 vendors, unique vendors that are going to be in place. Richard has laid out an amazing vendor list, and all these people are going to be here, as well as all of our day activities. So the first thing that's going to start is the Truth and Fellowship of Knoxville Church is going to be here doing a horror in religion panel. So we're going to be talking about all the horrors in religion, as well as we're going to show the very first Bad Ben film, and then the director and actor is going to be doing a live Q&A after the movie. Later on in the day, we're going to be doing a dinner scene breakdown of Texas Chainsaw Massacre with John Dugan. So we're actually going to play the dinner scene, turn that audio down, and we're going to commentate during it and talk about the truth of what happened during the day whenever they were filming that infamous scene, as well as the Franken Film Festival and a retrospective of Brian Bremer's career. The guys at Rants at the Black Lodge podcast is going to sit down with Brian Bremer, and they're going to talk about all the amazing cult films he's been a part of. And it's just going to be an amazing atmosphere, and I'm going to toss it to Richard as well.
Yeah, all that's included. Tickets are available at the door, $25 gets you in for the whole day, up until 5:30, and all the events are included with that. for the daytime activities, and it's just a really cool atmosphere for a hotel convention. We don't get many of those here in the Knoxville area for sure, so you can just expect a lot of fun times. We have Realm of Oddities is here, and they are scary clowns, and so you can get your picture taken with them. And you might have saw one of them walking around here earlier. So there's just, this is just a great opportunity to be with your people, right? You like horror movies, and you're going to meet other people that like horror movies as well.
Speaking of pictures, photo ops, we still have some left. We're going to be selling those up until noon, and they include everything from a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 reunion photo op, as well as a photo op with Brian Brimmer, or you can just get one with Mark Patton by himself. And Joe, Bob, and Darcy still have a handful of photo ops. We actually sold out of them, and we extended the photo ops for them because they sold out so quick. And then John Dugan is going to sit back down at the dinner table. Leatherface cosplay is going to be there, and we're going to bring the people in, sit them down at the table, and tie them to the chair. So it's an in-scene photo op, and John Dugan's going to once again sit down for dinner, and people are going to come in, and you're going to have dinner with the Sawyer family, and that's going to be a special photo op as well.
Sounds good, gentlemen. Thank you all for coming on tonight. The best of luck tomorrow, and everybody. We've been talking tonight about Frankencon Horror Convention and Film Festival in Knoxville, Tennessee. Check it out online. You can find their website at frankencontn.com, or just look them up on Facebook. Easy to find because it is a unique name. Once again, kudos for that. Thanks so much for coming on relatively short notice, too.
No,
thank you. All you guys have been awesome, and just thank you for extending this opportunity for us, and we look forward to being at Scarefest this year and hopefully meeting Robert Englund, because that's our hope.
Listen, if it wasn't for you guys and Adrian, and then our sponsors like the Dungeon at Southlands and Central Cinema and Pinsploitation and Rants at the Black Lodge and a whole host of others that you can find on frankencontn.com, we wouldn't be able to do this. And it's the horror community that made it happen. So we're just forever grateful that we got you guys. Y'all got our backs, so that makes us happy.
Okay, and everybody, we'll be back next week with more Scarefest TV. Thanks for watching tonight.